Hi, in this video, let's talk about the time. How to query the future data, how to query the past data, how to back to the time, how to do time traveling. If you try a CQ in Proton, you will notice by default you are querying the future time. For example, I run the Proton client. It is using the doc image from our repo, and you select star from car live data. And you will notice that the query never ends. It always gives you the latest event, actually the upcoming new event. And this is a streaming CQ. Always give you the latest result. You don't have to query over again. Let's try the other example. So in this example, every 2 seconds, we will get a new count number. What if we want to know the existing data? So in Timeplus Proton, you can wrap the stream in a special function called table function to query the past results. And you can see now there's this number of events in the past. And if you keep running this over time, you will see different data. The reason why you can query both the future event and the existing data, because in Timeplus Proton, we have a streaming storage for the read ahead log, WAL, and also have a historical storage for your OLAP-based query. So if we go to Timeplus Cloud, which have a better UI, and then we go to the same stream, this UI clearly shows you that is the streaming storage and the historical storage are all available, and each of them may have different retention policy. Back to our terminal. Now you know the default behavior is to query the future event as a streaming query. That's why when you run a count star, it will count the future event. But if we wrap in a table function, you can get the existing data immediately. Then what if you wanted to go back to a few minutes ago? And this is what we call time rewind, or a fancy term called time travel. You can simply using the where calls TP time, now say 5 minutes ago. By doing so, it will travel back to 5 minutes ago from now and get all the data and keep processing the future events. This TP time is a special column in every single stream in Proton. And we say all the data with the event time. So no matter it is a live event coming from IoT sensor, from Kafka source, or you push the data to the system, or even you upload a CSV file or other dimension table, every single row with a TP time column to indicate what's the time for that row. You can use that column to do all the index, time travel, and other aggregation. And this is also mentioned in our architecture diagram on our Proton repo. The historical data store is actually based on ClearHouse, a very fast OLAP engine. And we build our own streaming storage called native log as a distributed read ahead log. And the data is always come to the streaming storage first and shipped to the historical storage at real time. And how fast it is, let me show a query. For demo purpose, let's go to the query editor of Timeplus demo site. This means that is the difference between the latest event in the streaming storage and the latest event in the historical storage is about 2 or 3 seconds. And this query is also quite interesting. So what we are doing that is we use the data diff function to calculate 2 different time. One is the TP time. From the car live data, this is a streaming query using limit 1 to only care about the first one and stop. And this is a historical query to query the entire car live data in the historical storage, because we wrap it as a table function and we get the max time. By doing so, we can get the next new event from the future and compare the current max time in our historical storage and do the data diff. And every time you run it, it tells you that is what's the gap between our streaming storage and the historical storage of just a few seconds. And this query also gives you a very good example regarding how to use a single SQL to query both the future data and the existing data. That's why Timeplus Proton is a unified database for both historical and the streaming data. And what is more exciting, that is in our recent version, we enhanced our system so that when you run a time travel or backfill using this TP time, we actually will try to not just look at our streaming storage, but also try to backfill from the historical storage automatically. That means that if you run a query like this, it is 5 days ago, and we will not just look at streaming storage, but it will try to read all the data from the historical storage and the backfill, and also keep watching the new event from the future. But one thing to notice that is if we are using external stream to query your data in Kafka without save them in Timeplus Proton, then there's no such TP time in the column because there's no data is kept in Timeplus Proton. In that case, you need to use a special syntax called seek2. So for example, in this demo, we are using external stream to read from a topic. If we query directly, it will keep reading the latest data from Kafka or Panda. But if you wanted to read the existing data, since there's no TP time, you need to do settings to earliest. And you can see this immediately gives you a result, which is since I started the Docker compose. So rewind in external stream is using the seek2 because the TP time is not available for them. Okay, before we wrap up today's video, the other thing I want to mention that is because in Timeplus Proton, the default query behavior is streaming query, and we always query the future data, not the existing data. When you needed to integrate Proton with your BI system, with other system, this may be or may not be your preferred behavior. If you needed to query the existing data, you can always wrap them in the table function, or you can use a special port to enforce that. So we have a new document recently in the Proton folder. This is the list of ports. So let me go over it quickly. That is, the first one is the one we need for the Proton client. In the streaming mode, you can also use Grafana or Golang to talk to Proton. And Grafana provides streaming visualization already. And for the JDBC, ODBC, we actually provide 2 ports. This A123 is always in batch mode, and the other one is in the default streaming mode. Let me show off this with our recent metabase plugin for Proton. Let's add a new database. Just choose Timeplus Proton. So this is a local Proton, and I use A123. This is the forcing the batch mode. Okay, and now we can go to our query editor, and we can run a count star. And say you want to save this as a dashboard. If you want, you can set a timer to keep running this every minute. Okay, see, this is update. But Metabase doesn't give you lower than 1 minute short interval. Check our previous video regarding Grafana integration, that you can leverage the live chatting from Grafana to keep seeing the new events without waiting for 1 minute long. Okay, that's for today's video, and enjoy the time travel with us, and see you in next video. Bye.